So Reat Capital is a very cool business model company actually where they're taking the 2024 narrative of sort of real world assets on the blockchain and they're tokenizing real world rental income. So Ivan and Martin, can you tell us a little bit about the business and what sort of real world problems you're trying to solve?
So basically, our main mission, I would say, and also vision of Reat Capital is to make real estate more flexible and accessible for as much people as possible. Basically, we want to make the transition from the happy few, the people with high budgets who already have experts, they have good contacts, and so on. We want to change that into happy many, a lot of simple people, just as ourselves, that doesn't have the necessary knowledge, doesn't have the big budgets to make the great deals. We want to give these benefits basically to as much people as possible. And the way we want to give it is basically by making a system that generates systematically growing passive income. This is the vision and the mission that we're having with our project.
Okay, so that is a good model as most people don't have the capital budget to buy a full property, the know-how of knowing how to manage a property. That's a skill set in itself. What exactly will Reat Capital do? So I presume there's some sort of breaking up a property into, as you said, your blocks. So how does the block relate to the property and how do people get involved there?
So yeah, exactly like you said. So what we will do to explain it, it's very simple to explain basically with an example. So you take a property, let's say an apartment of $100,000, and you split it up into 20 blocks, each block having a value of $5,000. This block is basically your digital share of that apartment online. This is how you can see it. So the block, it's being used as a bridge between the digital and the real world. Now, just as in real life, an apartment generates rental income, right? And which comes monthly to your bank account in fiat currency, the block will generate daily tokens, which will arrive, which you can extract into your MetaMask wallet, and then you can use them for or purchasing another block or pay rent in the properties that are from us or from our partners, or you can actually exchange them into fiat currencies or other cryptocurrencies. So you have a lot of flexibility with it. And the nicest thing about it is that usually in the traditional way, when you would buy this $100,000 apartment, you would have costs above, right?
Mhm.
You would need to go to notary, make some paperwork, taxes and fees, depending on the country or the region where you're buying it, and so on, not to forget maintenance costs. And so with our system, you don't have any of that. We take care of all of it. The only thing which you have is monthly maintenance fee per block that you're paying and Ethereum gas fee when you want to extract your tokens. That's basically it. So we have a very clear cost structure that avoids any surprises. This is
Okay.
to answer the first question, how it works.
Okay. So a little bit to unpack there. The apartment is broken up into blocks, and then you can buy a block. So let's say $5,000 blocks for $100,000 apartment, right? The value of the block, how is it decided, and how does one purchase a block? Is it with fiat? Is it with crypto?
Yeah. So the block in this example, each block has a value of $5,000, right? In this particular example. So how does it work? Basically, to buy it, like you said, because it's all comes together. Is the easiest way to explain. You have to see it like this: when you purchase a block, 95% of that amount is being used from us as a company to purchase a real estate. So basically, your block is for 95% backed in its value by the real estate. This is how you have to see it. So as a block owner, you're basically not becoming an owner of that property, but we can come back to that question later, to specify that as well. But you're basically buying a share in a global real estate portfolio, which will exist out of commercial, residential, industrial properties only with an active lease agreement, which is another very important detail into our process.
So the block itself now, like what currency do I use to pay for it? Is it a cryptocurrency? Do I buy tokens first and then I can exchange it?
So now in the pre-sales for our crowdfunding blocks and the first three pre-sale rounds, we will use USD Tether. This is the way you can buy the block for the moment. Once these rounds are finished, we will launch our own token, Reat token, and you will need 1,000 Reat tokens, for example, to buy a block, or 20 Reat tokens to buy another block. This will depend on different block types, but you will have to use Reat tokens to buy the block. And you will, by the way, able to use these Reat tokens as well to pay rent.
On buying the apartment, now it'll be USDC or USDT. Once I own the block, w- does that at a later stage when you start using React tokens, does the block kind of convert into a certain number of tokens? So let's say, for example, I bought I saw on your website like a $5,000 block. Would that at a later stage convert into 1,000 tokens, and then the yield on 1,000 tokens is whatever the daily React token reward is?
No, you have to see it like this. So you need 1,000 Reat tokens to purchase your block, right? You
Mhm.
purchase your block start to generate daily a token. This is how it works. So basically, after 1,000 days, you generated 1,000 tokens.
And then you can
So there,
exchange it for
yes,
the
exactly.
block. Okay, okay,
You
that
can
makes sense.
exchange it or for another block, or you're free to exchange it whatever you want. If let's say the price of the token is high enough, you can every moment you have 10 tokens, you can extract them and exchange them for other cryptocurrencies or fiat currencies, or use to pay rent. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So you can choose. There's really a lot of flexibility which we want to give to the users, so they can really decide and feel free what to do with it.
yeah, I actually like that. Now, me owning a block, how is that transferred? So how do I know that I own a block? Is it somewhere like linked as a sort of NFT on the blockchain, or how does that relate to me owning it?
That's a great question for Mark. That's a great question for Mark.
Thank you. Well, you can go on our website, Capital, and buy a block there with your MetaMask authentication, and then use your uh, USD Tether or anything exchanged to buy one block, which is currently set fixed. If you buy a $5,000 block, it's 1,000 tokens, where the cryptocurrency is today valued at $5. At that time, you're an owner of that block, and after 1 day, it will start generating uh, the Reat income, basically, yeah, that you have.
Okay, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So now, with regard to the property, where do you guys currently own property that are linked to blocks? Because obviously, I assume regulation is quite a difficult one here.
Regulation is, we need to be very careful with regulations. So the actual blocks aren't linked to the real estate itself. So today we have holding companies that own real estate, or that are working in Thailand, Portugal, and Dubai. And those real estate assets, they generate rental income, and that rental income is used to support the value of the crypto token. So that means that the crypto token, it can be sold and bought in exchanges, and that can be volatile and reach heights that we have never seen before. But it will never go below a certain point because of that support of that rental income. So in terms of regulations, that means that these blocks aren't really real estate, they're just connected to it. That means that we basically don't have any real estate nor investment legal compliance that we need to comply with.
Okay, that's actually a very cool way of doing it, because the me by owning, like, I mean, people, there, some of them are DJ and some of them are whatever, like everyone buys tokens, right? And based on the
Mhm.
speculation that the price will go up. Now, with regard to Reat Capital, it's kind of cool because you get that consistent token income. Now, the bottom is linked obviously to your rental, because you guys will support the price with the rental income. But then the Reat token just taking off in the way that cryptos just do take off is another possible gain. So it's not just saying that you get the rental income at a fixed amount. It's saying you get a minimum rental income, and then the sky is the limit because the price might just shoot up.
Exactly. So you win double. I mean, you have a guaranteed generation of token. In the case of $5,000 token block today, you have one token a day, so that you're gaining. So
Mm.
assured, 100% sure, no speculation. You're gaining one Riyadh a day. So
Yeah.
after a month, at 30, after a year, that's 365. So at that time, you have your owner of that tokens. It sits in your MetaMask wallet. It doesn't sit in our system. It's not managed by us. It goes into your MetaMask wallet. It is on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's not anything that we manage. As said again, it's a real cryptocurrency. So once you have that, you bought your block when the Riyadh was $5. Okay, that's fine. But everybody loves what we do. Everybody just loves what we do, and they buy our Riyadh tokens because they want to pay whatever they want, just like they do with Bitcoin, for example. It shoots up to $50. So you don't a day you don't make $5 anymore in this
Mm.
scenario. You make $50
Mm.
in 1 month. You make $1,500 in 1 year. You make, what is it, 50 times 365. So it's a double win basically.
So obviously, if the price, if there's a sufficient supply demand on the side of the token itself, then there isn't a need to use the rental income to support the price. Is that correct? You only need to use the rental income to maintain the price at whatever the bare minimum of the rental income is.
Exactly. That's exactly how you have to see it. That's the beauty of the project, because in the beginning, obviously, when you take off, you have to see it like this. There are four groups of people who are interested to buy the token. Obviously, the people who want to purchase blocks, right? Because they need it.
Mm.
Then the people who are going to buy the token just to speculate on the price. Then there is obviously us as a company who can buy back our own tokens to support the value of it.
Mm.
And then there's of course people who are going to want to pay rent with this token. So this is already four groups. So this is like already a very nice. It helps to generate a very nice volume for the token right from the beginning. So it's exactly like you said. The rental income is just a part of the income. You have to see it like this: as a block owner, your income source is the token, and the total income, or let's say the total value of that token, it depends, of course, also on the cryptocurrency market, but it gets supported from the rental income to make sure that the token has always a certain minimum. This is a
Yeah.
very important detail about our system.
Yeah, it's actually it's actually quite beautiful. Like it works
Yeah.
nicely. Good and
Thank
great business model as well. Like
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so what sort of the properties that you decide to purchase, how do you decide to purchase them? Also, what is the Reat Capital team composed of? And then in which different departments do you guys work? Because obviously the sky is the limit here, but the more jurisdictions you go into, you need to increase to the team. You need to have, I presume, some sort of local person involved to manage isolated property. That's, I don't know, let's say you buy something now in Spain, you would need like someone in Spain to manage and help do that. Yeah, so can you just
that.
run us through the Real Capital team? Sorry, it was a lot of questions.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to say it looking cool. We can switch off between the two. I was a lot at one time. Yeah,
Sorry.
basically the team. The beautiful thing is that our team exists of a lot of different kind of people, but what unify us is the passion and the belief for crypto. That if you use the cryptocurrency in the right way, it can change a lot of people's life in a good way. Because what we see in last years is that a lot of people start to believe into crypto, they start to go into crypto, and there were so many scams that they lost the belief. This is,
Mm,
by the way, also what brought our team together, because basically anybody in our team, like literally everybody, they all invested into scams and lost money. So this was our experience. So this
Yeah.
is this is already a very good general point what we have. But we basically have a little bit of everything. We have sales, we have marketing, we have IT, we have compliance. Yeah, we obviously everybody years of experience with crypto. But yeah, everybody's united by a very simple mission to restore that trust and to show the people that crypto can be used in a good way. It can change life, it can make a lot of people happy. And that's basically our team's motto. Do we need to expand that team? Of course, obviously, because we work like with local real estate experts that have a lot of experience and knowledge about their local area. But if we want to expand, obviously we need to expand that team as well. So yeah, the team is going to grow bigger and bigger.
Okay. Which sort of areas do you guys currently, we touched on it a little earlier, but which areas are you currently focusing on the real estate? And then what type of real estate, whether that be commercial or industrial? And then, let me not ask too many questions again, but then
Yeah.
also in your future expansion, which sort of countries are you hoping to get involved with?
Well, no, for the moment, we are active in Thailand, Portugal, and Dubai. Dubai joined basically very recently because when we kind of introduced our project to the world at World Blockchain Summit, so many real estate agents and real estate agencies approached us about the project that we said like, wow, okay. They showed us the number, and Dubai seemed like another perfect place to basically invest in real estate. So Dubai is the latest one who joined us. Towards the future, how do we want to expand? Well, that's a little bit depends. That's really a little bit depends, because our basic goal is like we can buy residential, industrial, commercial buildings. That's not the main importance. The main important thing is that it's all come with an active lease agreement, because we basically, when we buy a property, it needs to generate almost instant income. Because just like with blocks, once you purchase a block, later on it will have a kickoff period of 25 days before it starts to generate tokens. And why is this kickoff period is implemented there? Because, well, first of all, we need to gather the budget to buy real estate, right? It's not
Mm,
because, for example, we sold, I don't know, 50,000 for dollars in a day that we can immediately buy the next day a property and then
mm,
the day after it generate. So yeah, we need time to manage the budget. We need time
mm.
to invest them in the right location to make the best deals for our investors. So all of this takes time, and 25 days, it's already pretty short. It's already
Yeah, for
pretty
sure.
short. We're doing our best. We're doing our best to not let everybody wait too long. So yeah, this again towards the location, it's all depends. As you know, now we live in a very, let's say, interesting times where a lot of things going on around the world. So opportunities come and go, and we're just gonna see how it go further with the project. How we're already expanding in Thailand and Dubai and Portugal, and then we're gonna see. So we haven't had specific countries yet that we want to expand to, and but we are looking into several ones. Let's say just on different aspects.
Yeah, well, the good thing, if I just may intervene, the good thing about that is you mentioned the team. So now we have, as Ivan said, we have the local teams, but we won't go into a new market because before consulting with local teams. So we our strategy is to look at the markets where basically you have the most stable outlooks in the future for the whole real estate and rental business.
Yeah. I mean, I think that makes sense because, like, it's all good and well to, get property that already has an active lease agreement, which does make sense at the start, but property is volatile. Property is somewhat risky with regard to, do you have a tenant? Don't you have a tenant? But I think if you like choose the areas, so if you do proper market research of the area that you're going to buy a place, which you guys have a team behind, so you will, and if you're like places sit without a tenant because people are not managing it correctly. So if your team is equipped, this is their job, they're professionals in it, then they will for the most part have a tenant in there, right? Which
Yep,
is which is
exactly.
good. How is the transparency with regard to sharing the information of the properties you have in the portfolio, new properties that you want to look at getting with the potential investors in Reat?
So, well, first of all, we're trying to be very active with our community on our social media. We're gonna try to share as much information as we can on our YouTube channel, so the people can basically also see when we travel to Thailand, went to Portugal, and what we buy. So this is already going to be pretty cool. They're kind of getting already a little bit of virtual tour. But then, of course, obviously, all of these properties they will be mentioned inside our platform. So you do gonna have to log in the platform. You do gonna have to be a block owner to see it, but they will be mentioned inside the platform. And then there's also going to be a very clear difference between like the properties that are owned by Reat and then the properties that you can just rent that are from our business partners, who just give out the properties with the possibility to rent them in Reat token. So there's going to be a clear difference. But yeah, we think that this approach is going to work very well because obviously you can always visit the property. The people can always Google it and they can always find what they need to find. Everything is on internet, right? So you can find everything. And this is again what makes it so beautiful in the transparency approach because we can prove it very easily. I mean, it would be very, very difficult to hide 100 or 200 houses, to make them disappear from the sky, right? So yeah, that would be a tricky one for us to do. So yeah, that
uh,
makes basically our project very easy
Yeah.
towards
yeah.
transparency and towards the investors.
To be honest, Ivan, from what I see from Reat Capital, I mean, we met at the World Blockchain Summit. For companies that do something involving scams, they're very hiding. You guys are the opposite because you're showing your faces everywhere. Like everyone knows you,
Thank you.
and you're a very unique, memorable guy, Ivan. So
Thank you. I
yeah,
appreciate it. It's the beard,
Yeah.
it's the beard of
yeah.
wisdom,
I was actually
So
thinking
yeah.
when we met in Dubai, I saw you guys at your stand, and then I looked at Ivan, and I was like, big guy. Then I spoke to you, strong accent, big beard, and you have this idea that it's gonna be like a like not an aggressive person, but a stern person. And then you actually meet you, and then you're like a little bit teddy bearish inside, if I
Yeah,
may say
more
so.
pussycat. Pussy.
Yeah, 100%.
No, thank you, really, thank you. Because for our first live stream, by the way, they used such an angry picture of me that I would say, like, my God, this is like some kind of a Viking guy who wants to kill everybody, buy or die kind of a guy. So
Have
yeah,
you
I'm
seen
very
your?
happy you're saying it,
ha-
so the people can
Have you?
realize I'm completely not like that. So thank you for
Yeah,
that,
but
man.
have you seen your
Appreciate
face,
it.
Ivan? Viking sounds about right. Good. Okay, so you guys have. When did Reat Capital sort of launch? When did you guys buy your first property? What can you give us a bit of a time frame?
Yeah, sure. So, like when you said we met each other at World Blockchain Summit in Dubai, right? It was 22, 23 April, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
And basically, our first property in Thailand was bought 4 days before that. And the main reason for that is because we would get the question like, okay, guys, we love your system, we love the idea, but can you show us the full cycle? Can you show how it
Yeah.
works? Can you show it with a real life example? And this is basically the reason why we bought it, just so we can show the people the full cycle and the full completion of it. So now also since last Saturday, we launched our new crowdfunding blocks, which are already running and operational. So now basically people already see the full cycle, or let's say almost the full cycle, because we still need to list the token on the exchanges on which we are working on right now. But this has also a whole other story behind it. Why we're selling blocks actually and not the token itself. But yeah, we're working step by step to make the process streamlined as possible, as fast as possible, but still keep the quality, because for us that's very important. We saw also in the past project going too fast, gaining too much momentum, and then they disappear, and eventually
Mm.
people just ending up losing money, and that's absolutely
Mm.
something what we want to prevent. So we prefer to be slow. We prefer to tell them the truth, like, look guys, we're working on it, this is the step, we're already having it. We have, by the way, something very, very nice coming up as well for the people who already have blocks, which we announce very soon. So they're gonna love the idea. So they're gonna have even opportunity to have even some little extra. So that's gonna be awesome. But I can't tell you obviously what it is right now, but we'll tell it in our next live stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the early
Well,
bird
well,
catches the worm.
will you tell me after the meeting, Ivan?
Yeah, all right.
I might be
Yeah, we
an.
need to.
I might go buy another block.
Yeah, well, if I may, you said we go slow. We go slow, but the whole legal process is a big process.
For
We are
sure.
currently in the legal jurisdiction of Dubai. It's we chose Dubai because it has the best crypto legislation around that is best for the crypto owners, not for the companies that give it out. So there are other jurisdictions like Singapore, etc., that exist, obviously. But we chose Dubai. We chose it very consciously, So that whole legal process, that does take its time. We need to comply, we need to get audits, we need to get everything in order. So well, going slow, yeah, okay, but we're going as fast as we can.
Go as fast as we can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and on the other hand, you spoke of on the platform. We will. Well, the platform is there. The platform, you can already go on. You can already buy blocks, and you can already start earning Real crypto.
Okay, so the full process is there. The token is just
Yeah,
not listed on exchanges yet, so you'll earn the
exactly.
token, but you just can't sell it yet. But that's not really an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. I kind of like what you say about, going slow to comply with regulation. Because if you look at how the crypto space has developed, in the past, it was kind of accepted and okay that people did the wrong thing and then asked for permission later. But especially in your sort of, especially nowadays, that doesn't fly. The business will be cut short there. And then also to go back and change things to make them compliant after the fact is difficult for your business model. So
it's
so
too
it is good that
expensive.
you, yeah, yeah. So it makes sense that you take that approach.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, so the full process is there. People can buy blocks. Ivan, I know on your YouTube channel, which is doing super well, by the way. Very impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
nice.
you.
I see that you do have all of the clear videos on how to get involved. So
Yeah.
people can actually go to Reat Capital YouTube channel, and then I saw there's a full video on actually how to buy a token, like I mean how to buy a block. It takes you through the website. Your white paper is solid. So if people want a little bit more in-depth knowledge, that's really good. Yeah, and then also you've got some basic videos explaining sort of what Reat Capital does.
Yeah, yeah. We're actually planning to add tomorrow, after tomorrow, another video for people who actually want to purchase the blocks, for example, using their mobile phone, because we saw that a lot of people logging into the platform with the phone. So yeah, we really, really want to make it as easy as possible for the people and as clear as possible. So we're also putting a lot of focus on that. We want to simplify basically the process as much as possible. But yeah, as you know, because of legal issues, for example, and compliance, we can only simplify it till a certain point. So yeah, that's a very long process. It's just like you said,
yeah,
just like
Ma-
Martin said as well. Yeah, it's a nightmare. To be frankly honest, it's a
yeah.
nightmare,
Well,
but
yeah,
it's a good one. It's a
yeah,
good one because this does protect the people eventually in the
yeah,
end. It's a lot of
yeah.
headache for us. It's really a lot of headache for us, and people do need to make a little effort. They do need to see how to install a MetaMask, for example, a little bit basic. But in the end, it's better for them and it's better
mhm.
for us. We're all winning in the end
Yeah,
of this
exactly.
process.
We reduce risk for everyone, and yeah, it also differentiates us from the mentioned scams because I would very much like to see any scam that does this legal due diligence.
just just by that virtue, it's not worth scamming. there's
Exactly.
eas-
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
there's
no,
eas-
yeah, trust it.
there's
It's not worth
there's
it,
easier
really.
ways to scam. Yeah.
Yes.
I do really agree also with that long term growth. I think me personally also, I invested in some projects that I didn't do my due diligence on, but the bigger issue was they were projects that were launched for short-term things. Like even if they had good intentions, it was based on some sort of short-term narrative. And you guys have the slow approach. You have a long-term narrative. It is a solid business model. So I think the approach you're doing is good.
Yeah. Thanks,
Mm.
thanks.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you.
That's basically exactly what you just said. That's it. Because the concept of combining crypto with real estate, it's not new. It's already existing for 4 to 5 years.
Mm.
But the problem with most of these projects, what they were facing is the long-term growth. They all had difficulties. So basically, because I'm so lucky to work with such a smart people around me, they have to figure out a wonderful system, the tokenization of rental income instead of just the tokenization of the real estate itself. And this is basically the key to long-term growth and stability. So yeah, this is
For sure.
yeah, fantastic thing to the system.
For sure. So, do you guys have any competitors in the space that you're looking out for? I'm dealing with a lot of layer twos at the moment. So, I'm interviewing quite a few. And the issue is that everyone has got a fantastically smart team behind them, but they're all competing for sort of roughly the same narrative, right? Like, slightly cheaper gas fees, slightly this. So, but they all started their projects before it was mainstream. So, like 2017, 2018, everyone started making a layer two because it was obvious that Ethereum couldn't scale. And then now you sit with the situation where there's like, I don't know, I think there's like 100 and something layer twos on Ethereum now, all for the most part offering the same thing, right? So, do you guys find that there are competitors in the space, or are you sufficiently unique in your offering that you're not too threatened?
Well, to say it like that, to be honest, we don't see any competitors yet, just because simply our approach is unique and it hasn't been implemented in that way before, combining real estate with crypto. So in that way, we don't think we have any competition. But we do think that this system has so much potential that very soon it will become a base system
Yeah,
for projects who wants to combine crypto with real world assets.
yeah,
So not just real estate, because if you think about it, the system has basically everything you need: the long-term growth, the stability. It deals very well with the ups and downs of the cryptocurrency market. It gives people the trust because it's real-world assets and so on. So we really do think that a lot of projects soon gonna start to implement this system
Mm,
for their way. Yeah.
mm.
But it's a
But
good thing, because like this, crypto can evolve. I will be very
mm,
happy if we could,
yeah,
be the
I
founding fathers, say
yeah.
it like that.
so is there anything else that you want to share with the community? Anything cool up projects that are coming up?
Well, I can tell you the classic sentences that they say on every YouTube. Click like and subscribe. But this is just so cheesy, so I can't do it. So forget about
But you
it.
said it now.
Yeah, but I said it now in a
you
very
you said
sketchy
it
way.
you said it without saying it.
I
Yeah,
say it without saying it. No, no. I mean, basically, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank you
Yeah,
again that we could be here, that
for
you
sure.
spend your time with us to know more about the project. I'm very thankful to everybody who already subscribed to us. I mean, we was mind blown away. We didn't expect that to have such attraction, but it's great. It means that people are really waking up and they really start to see the difference between the scams, let's say it like that, or some crazy projects where you don't know where your money is going, what it's being used for, or and so on. That they really start to see, the potential and the good things, and we're generally happy about that. So
Hmm.
thank you
I
again.
think uh I think we're in a little bit of a bear market of the bull market, right? Like everything's down, so people are really hating that the portfolio is sort of linked to some sort of digital token that does nothing. So at least in your case, it's like it's linked to some sort of earning from a real world asset. So I think it's just in that specific narrative by itself, it's quite nice.
Mm,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.